Information shared on the following program is for general information purposes only. It does not constitute legal, tax, investment, or other advice, nor is it intended to recommend any particular investments, products, or financial instruments. Always seek advice from your financial advisor, attorney, or accountant with regard to investment, legal, or tax questions.
Welcome to the Worry-Free Retirement with best-selling author and fiduciary Tony Walker.
If you got it, you don't need it. If you need it, you don't got it. You don't get it, shame on you. Funny, funny, funny what money can do. Them that have it, get more of it. The less they need it, the more they love it. And it sticks to them like glue. Funny, funny, funny what money can do.
The Internet, considered by many to be one of the most fascinating and technologically advanced tools ever created. Yet, with all of its billions of daily users, its amazing functional utility and wonderful attributes, it can also be a scary place to do business. So popular is this practice of searching the Internet, reveals that each and every day, some 3.5 billion Google searches occur. That's 3.5 billion every day, or we might say trillions of searches each and every year. Now, folks, that's a lot of people searching the Internet, and worse yet, a lot of personal data being shared with the World Wide Web. This common practice of innocently searching the Internet and Googling stuff is one of the quickest ways for lots of people to possibly know more about you than you'd rather them not know. And it's not just the thought of blindly trusting and sharing your personal information when searching for news articles or items for your home or even information on how to plug a leak in your car's radiator. It also includes the millions of searches each day by savers looking for financial advice, which studies reveal now today over 30% of Americans are getting their financial advice, not from meeting in person from well-trained financial experts and advisors, but rather from complete strangers, many of which are uncredentialed financial pundits on the Internet. And if that weren't scary enough, it's also estimated that 72% of consumers trust online reviews as much as they do personal recommendations. Well, we're going to talk about that today. And with this in the studio, this idea of sharing your personal data with complete strangers and not knowing exactly where the heck it's going is not America's favorite financial sidekick. He is here faithfully producing the show, but rather my favorite son-in-law fellow fiduciary, Mr. Trey Juergens. Good morning, Trey.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And we've got a neat show today because I think, you know, in our world, we forget, and obviously this radio show is all about sharing financial information, educating people, but let's not be, shy about this. It's also about us finding savers that we might work with. We make that very well known, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But I don't think what people really realize out there, Trey, and we're going to talk about this today, and a little trick me and Heather played on you, is what you're really viewed at. I'm talking about you, the consumer, riding down the road right now, listening to this radio show. What you're really viewed at in the eyes of the financial world. And believe it or not, folks, you're not really a human being, as we might say. You know, if you're out there in the stratosphere right now or searching the web or listening to the radio shows and TV shows of other people, but you're really what we call in the financial world a lead.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird, isn't it, to say that, but that's what it is.
That's the truth.
So, folks, as you listen to this show today, don't be offended. Don't take any of this personal. Just look at it through the eyes of the financial world. Remember, the financial world's objective. They only have one objective. We've talked about this before. My good friend and mentor, Bob Castellone, taught me this. He said, Tony, the financial world's a lot like Dracula. In order to survive, Dracula needed blood. The financial world, fill in the blanks, Trey, in order to survive, they need our money. So how do they get this money? How do we become leads to them? And most importantly, when you're on the Internet specifically, when you're casually and routinely and naively sharing all this information with the financial world, what can happen with that information, and more importantly, we're going to find out who all gets access to it. Scary stuff coming back with the Worry-Free Retirement. We're going to share an exact example of going to a financial entertainer's website and entering our own Trey Juergens in there for just what we thought was some information or a contact from one person. And the trail of, we're going to call this the Beautiful Mind episode. We'll tell you more about this in a minute. You stay tuned. You're listening to the Worry-Free Retirement. I'm Tony Walker. I'll be right back. Warning, a licensed insurance agent with no prior knowledge of annuities can legally toss your 401k into an annuity. Don't make that mistake. Log on now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com before ever purchasing an annuity. Have you recently retired, been laid off, or offered a pension buyout? Has the company you work for moved, been acquired, or closed its doors forever? And finally, do you have a 401k with a previous employer you'd like to move to safer territory? Then take advantage of this opportunity to move your 401k or lump sum pension to Tony Walker Financial. Let's meet in person to discuss your retirement options. Log on now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com to schedule your free, no obligation appointment. Let us help you today. It is estimated that each day over 10,000 people will turn 65, which means a lot of advisors selling a lot of annuities. Don't get stuck in the wrong annuity. Get a second opinion from TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Thank you for joining us on the Worry-Free Retirement. I am Tony Walker. And if you're one of those types that kind of just casually Googles around and surfs the internet for stuff, especially when it comes to maybe where to roll over your 401k or what annuity is best for you or should I invest in gold? I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, folks. You have to understand, as we're going to find out today, once you enter the World Wide Web, there's a reason they call it the World Wide Web, isn't it?
No. Oh,
Trey,
yeah.
you think that, www, folks, that stands for World Wide Web, which means possibly the world is getting ready to see what you're getting ready to enter in that little computer or that little mobile device of yours. So let's do this, Trey. Let's just take the typical example. Of course, folks, if you're listening to this show for the first time, Tony Walker Financial is an independent fiduciary. We are there to work in your best interest. We don't work for the financial world. We're not tied into any marketing organizations, taking marching orders from them. Although we do business, for instance, with Charles Schwab, we're not employed by Schwab. Although we sell a ton of annuities through insurance companies, life insurance, long-term care, we're not employed by those insurance companies. We're agents, but we work for you. It's important for you to note that. And the same way we treat your confidential information as clients, we treat the confidential information that you out there, we're going to call you a lead, I'm sorry, but you out there who might have interest in our services, it's the same thing. So let's imagine, Trey, this is our typical client I'm going to describe. A person is hardworking Joe Lunchbox, okay? He or she is 63 years of age. This is sounding familiar, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They've worked for the same employer, or maybe only a couple of employers most of their lives. They've really, really saved hard. I mean, the people we work with, that's why we call them savers, but they work and save hard. So now the 63-year-old's got a ton of money in their 401k plan. They want to plan for retirement, but it's kind of dawned on them, but the 401k plan is not a plan, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a savings tool.
It's a savings tool. So they got a problem. They don't understand retirement. They sure don't know how to take this 401k with several $100,000 and convert it into an income they can never outlive. So here's their options. I'm going to read off a few. You add to these if you can think of something. So Joe Lunchbox, now what's he going to do? He or she wants to retire. Here's some options. They could wait for the next free dinner seminar invitation to arrive in the mail.
Everybody likes a good steak.
Everybody likes a free steak. Can't argue with that. I'm going to share an example of a couple I met with yesterday. Number two, and this does happen sometimes. I've had people tell me this. Let's say they've gone to work every day and maybe they passed an office of a financial advisor or financial institution. There's a little bit of familiarity, even though they don't know them. And they get ready to retire and they're like, man, they'll just whip in here and talk to Joe or Susie, I guess.
Might as well.
Might as well. They've got a shingle there. That'd be one way. That's possibly a little scary. A third way, just like this, radio, TV, financial entertainers who now apparently we're going to find out have all kinds of marketing arms to reach out to people. You might respond to that, right?
They're all over.
They're all over the place. And then finally, what you could do, and that's been the topic of our show today, is what apparently more than 30% of people are doing right now. You get on the internet, Google or Bing or whatever, it doesn't matter, these search engines, and you start typing in stuff like, can I retire? Or where do I roll over my 401k? Can you think of any other option that Joe Lunchbox out there has available that's a little spooky?
But at least that last one's good because everything on the internet is true. So
that I have not thought about that. Derek, Aaron, make a note of that, please. Everything on the internet is true. Shoot, I've been thinking some of it may not be true, but thank you, Trey, for those words of wisdom. Okay, so imagine, so you're submitting this information. What we're going to talk about today, folks, is a little bit about what is going on in the digital world. Then we're going to share a little trick we played on Trey. So Trey, you've been with me now, 3.5, 4 years?
About 4 years when I started on the marketing side of things.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then you had a little bit of background in marketing before you came here. So a lot of the marketing we've done, especially in the last couple of years, I wouldn't want to say we've dabbled in digital marketing. We've done more than dabbled. We've learned that world pretty well. Now, you know me personally, I'm not that crazy about that world. It's okay, but share with people why, I think for our clients, why I kind of concern myself with the digital world. Just to explain a little bit about what is the digital world, what is analytics, what happens when I start submitting stuff on the website, of whatever's website.
The internet is effectively the Wild West of marketing. So it's basically you, instead of having a phone number and a physical home address, you have an email address and an IP address. That information follows you around everywhere you go. Say you look on a sporting goods website and you want to look for some golf balls.
Okay, now I'm going to stop you there because this really, I think I may, did
I
tell you that?
Yeah.
All right, I told you this. Okay, so now I went on, I was looking for some golf balls R Us or something, and I did not enter any personal information, but I swear to you, when I got off that website, shortly thereafter, golf balls start popping up all over. So how in the world did that happen?
Well, it's pretty creepy, isn't it?
It's real creepy.
When you visit that website fires what's called a pixel and understands that you're...
Not to be confused with the pixie sticks that I enjoyed in
Exactly.
Pixel. Okay.
Just as exciting, but it will capture your IP address and associate your interests with golf. And these marketers can serve digital ads to you.
No, wait a minute. Yeah, because I've gotten ads for golf courses, golf vacations. It's not just the golf balls. So that's interesting. So a lot of people of different means of golf have my stuff. It's not just the golf ball.
No, they've got you pegged. They know that
they know I like golf.
Tony Walker likes golf, and they're going to serve you ads and sell that placement on your website.
Even though I did not give all these people permission to start serving me all this stuff.
Oh, it's on there. It's the internet.
Wow.
So with that, the next layer comes actually entering your information. And when you do that, just the limited information you willingly give to someone can cause all this other information to be found and associated with your email address, IP address, cell phone number. It's pretty creepy.
So let's go through that because we do need to tell people that on our website at Tony Walker Financial, we do this, but we're going to make that comparison. So hang in there, folks. So let's say, because I've done that as well, let's say maybe, I tell you where I do this sometimes. I like going through YouTube and the golf lessons, and some of those guys are really good. So they'll say, hey, to get more videos, you got to give us your email. So I'll put in, okay, I'll get my email. So what's that next step? I'm obviously relinquishing some more personal information. What's the potential danger of doing that?
So you've found yourself in a funnel. They call them marketing drips, marketing sequences. You're going to get phone calls, emails, possibly text messages.
And this has happened recently. Again, I don't have a problem with it. The guy's good, but I mean, this guy's wearing me out with more videos that just keep popping in my email. So that's what's happening.
He's staying top of mind. He's going to bug you until you either opt out or you commit to talking to him.
A membership or whatever he's selling. Yeah.
Bingo.
So let's talk about Tony Walker Financial. We have on our website something called the Let's Get Started. So right now, folks, if you have access to your phone or computer or whatever you want to do, you can log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. So when you click on the Let's Get Started button, it gives you the opportunity to enter information. In fact, Trey, let me jump on the website here real quick if I've got it here pulled up. I'm going to read. I'm going to go down. So if you've got a minute, folks, you could kind of scroll along with us. Let me go down to the Let's Get Started. And it's funny, on our website, we intentionally don't put that front and center. We feel like people want to check out some of our videos, blog pages. We're not assuming that somebody goes to Tony Walker Financial. First thing they do is they're going to want to just turn their money blindly over us. We wouldn't expect them to do that. But when I click on Let's Get Started, basically the first thing that pops up, it's talking about all the information you share with us is confidential to Tony Walker Financial and is not shared with outside sources. So what confidence should that bring in people who are thinking about at least talking to us or wanting to meet with us? What would you say to that?
Well, it doesn't leave our full-time staff. We have a very, it's from day one, we've been very serious about the data and client information. It comes to me and Shanna. We divvy up who's going to call who, and you're going to get a couple phone calls, maybe an email. If we don't hear back from you, we stop bugging you. Mm-hmm. And otherwise, that information's not shared with third parties. It's not sold, and
never really leaves Tony Walker Financial.
Not
is
at
what
all.
We're saying.
Not at all.
And also, even if we do, because we do the way we've got ours set up. So, folks, if you enter into it or you download, you're all going to get some emails from us. But we clearly allow them to unsubscribe immediately, and we don't bother them if they decide to do that. Is that correct?
Right. If they enter their information on the website, if they download something, they will get into our typical email, because that's what we're here to educate savers, and we're going to send them videos and make sure they have what they need. Of course, they can scroll to the bottom and hit unsubscribe. They can send an email back and just say, take me off the list, and we'll be happy to do that. But they can certainly get out of the funnel.
Yeah. So I think, folks, what we're saying is we recognize the fact that all of us in the financial world, let's all be clear about this, whether it's myself, a little man in a sweater vest, whether it's a financial entertainer, whether it's big boys that have trillions of dollars under management, all of us have to have people to work with. We have to have your money. That's just how the world goes round. The question is, when you start submitting personal information on the World Wide Web, the real question is, who's getting this information? What are they going to do with it? And how are they going to reach out to you to really work in your best interest? So when I return, we're going to talk about a little trick that my fellow fiduciary in Bowling Green, Heather Hughes, and I played on my favorite son-in-law, Trey. And actually, we just thought this was going to be a fun trick, Trey. This has been very enlightening. Myself and this whole digital world. And folks, you're going to want to stay tuned to listen to this before you start submitting stuff to these financial folks on the internet. You're listening to The Worry-Free Retirement. We'll be right back.
The stock market at my age? You gotta be kidding. I need to put my money someplace where it's safe.
Investing all of your money in the stock market can be pretty scary stuff, which is why I created the Worry-Free Split IRA concept, a concept that allows you to invest in the stock market without the fear of running out of money. Learn more about the Split IRA concept and how to safeguard more of your money by logging on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Who can you trust? It's one of the most important decisions you'll have to make. Question is, are you ready? Well, we're here to help at Tony Walker Financial. We care more about you than we do your money, and we have over 2,000 happy clients and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau to prove it. Rolling over a 401k, confused about Social Security, maybe you're afraid of running out of money. Learn how to use and enjoy and protect your hard-earned money. Log on now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com and let's get started. Welcome back to the Worry-Free Retirement. Over the past 36 years, I've met in person with over 15,000 savers, and one of their greatest fears, besides running out of money, is actually who can they trust with their money. With us in the studio is my favorite son-in-law and fellow fiduciary, Trey Juergens, out of our Louisville office. And just yesterday, Trey, I know you don't sit in all my meetings. I had a lot of meetings yesterday. Met the nicest couple. But he's retired. She's getting ready to retire. So she's kind of like that 63-year-old we talked about in the last segment. And I asked her this question. You know me, I'll just ask people questions. I'll say, so what brings you here today? And have you been talking to other advisors? And she said, well, I watch you on TV all the time. She watches the TV show. By the way, folks, the TV show, The Worry-Free Retirement, it's a doozy because it has all the graphics behind what we're sharing on the radio show. So obviously it's hard to see graphics on the radio show. But you can on the TV show. And if you've missed any of the TV shows, you can go back and watch past episodes. That's on our YouTube channel. So just go to youtube.com and then you just click in or search Tony Walker Financial And remind me of that, Mr. Digital. So when they search Tony Walker Financial, they do have to hit a subscribe button. Go through that real quick, Trey, if you would, how that works.
Yeah, they can do either. They can actually go to YouTube and watch any of our videos there on the channel, or you can subscribe and add a notification, which means every time we post something, you'll get an email just letting them know what Tony Walker's up to.
And our subscriptions are starting to gradually go up, aren't they?
Yeah,
so cool.
Wes is actually doing something over there.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's in charge of that. I wish you hadn't reminded me of that. That's a little scary. Okay, so here's what she said. And he was, it was really about her retirement. He's already retired. He said, well, I'm pretty good to go. I think I'm okay, but she's the one that needs help, 401ks, et cetera. So I said, all right, ma'am, I want to start off, first of all, what has been your experience? So she said, okay, fair enough. Over the last year, because she's been thinking about this, I've been to 2 different dinner seminars, the free dinner, the steak dinners, from 2 different advisors. I said, okay, fine. I'm trying to recount exactly. I think there was a total of 6 advisors. I've been to 2 different advisors. I think they were different people that had spots on the radio or radio shows.
Sure.
So it's up to 4. And then I think that one of them was somebody was referred to her by a friend, and then maybe one of them did come off the internet. I can't remember. But it was like 5 or 6. Okay, but it was kind of a hodgepodge. And I thought to myself, bless your hearts. So then I said, well, what did you come? I mean, you're coming to see me. See, I'm real curious. I'm like, what's Harry Carey say? I'm curious like a cat.
I'm curious like a cat. I have a couple of friends that call me Whiskers.
But I'm real curious. I'm thinking you've seen 6 people. Now you're in to see me. Why? And she said, well, I've watched you on TV. I've had a chance to really get to know you. I feel like I can trust you. And I felt like each of these individuals, now folks, we're not trying to badmouth the financial world. I'm just saying this is what an individual said about 6 different advisors that she met. I don't know who they are, don't even want to know. Felt like they were more concerned about getting my money than really helping me. In fact, Trey, she said one of the advisors had worked on this big plan and she was excited to see it. He wouldn't show it to her. He said, until you sign a document saying you'll do business with me, you don't get the plan.
Yikes.
And she said, I'm not getting the plan then. Heck with that. Folks, if you meet with us, we provide you a free written game plan, absolutely no cost or obligation. How many people do you think we've given those game plans to and we've never pressured them? We might call them one time to follow up, but if they want to take their time and think about it, we don't badger them, do we?
We've done hundreds this year.
Oh, at least. And probably, and actually we've had 3 people come in the last month that got game plans years ago. And they've come back in and they said, now I'm ready to work with you.
Yep.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
We just got a phone call from a gentleman in Northern Kentucky
That's right.
we met with in 2016.
And I got a person last week, 2012, and brought the game plan in. And I said, what's changed, sir? He was kind of a younger fella. He said, well, I've gotten disabled and had to quit work, and I'm ready to work with you. It was awesome. Okay, Trey, in the time remaining, let's set the stage. And first of all, thank you for still being my friend and son-in-law after all this debacle. But so someone had told me that they were thinking about working with an advisor that was referred to them. This was puzzling. Referred to them by a well-known, I'll call him financial entertainer. Won't name their name, won't tell you if it's a male or female. There's a ton of them out there. So I said, okay, I've never heard of this organization in terms of how they're referring to advisors. So I get on the internet and I'm searching around and go, oh, here it is. This is what they're talking about. And then it says, from the Financial Entertainer's website, find an advisor in your area. So I'm in the Bowling Green office with Heather, and I said, well, I can't put my name in. They might recognize me and know it's a fluke. I said, let's do this. Let's put Trey's information in, your personal information, personal phone number, email, which doesn't have Tony Walker Financial. And I said, just for the fun of it, submit it and see what happens. And Heather's laughing. She said, okay. And I mean, we're thinking maybe you'll get a phone call or 2. Heather says she's going to email you. It's Thursday afternoon. We're closed on Fridays, late afternoon. I'll email Trey just to let him know we're doing this. Little did you know, you hadn't checked your emails yet. So take it from there, Trey. Thursday afternoon, this has been a couple of weeks ago. We're recording this show on November 17th, 2020. So this was a couple of weeks ago. What happened since we submitted, all we submitted was your name, phone number, and email, that you, quote, had some interest in talking to a financial advisor from this financial entertainer. Let her rip.
All right. From there, gee, thanks again. On my way home, so it was the end of the day. Bowling Green, you're an hour behind, so I was heading out. Lacey needed me to run some errands with the girls, so I hop in the car, and my phone would not stop ringing. So Thursday.
Already, right? I mean, we just submitted it.
It was maybe a half hour.
Gosh.
And that day, Thursday, I received 7 total phone calls. Well, actually 8 total phone calls. 2 of them were actually from the marketing organization behind the whole program.
So let me stop you. So there's a financial entertainer. Underneath the financial entertainer is a marketing organization that's probably taking all this data, right?
Yeah, they're serving it up.
Okay, and then keep going.
And then the phone calls from the advisors, that was so interesting. 5 different advisors with 5 different firms.
None of them related to
None of them related to each other. They just had a piece of the pie in this marketing organization. I had 8 total phone calls that first day and emails galore. So by the end of day 2, I had 8 total phone calls, I had 5 emails, and it just there was no end in sight.
And no end in sight, obviously. That was just day 1. Let's go to day 2. What happened?
So day 2, I continued getting some phone calls. I had some emails, trying to make sure that I could set up some time on the phone with these advisors.
So they're wanting to meet with you.
All these different advisors. And then we talked about the internet being creepy. I also started seeing Facebook ads of that main financial entertainer.
Golly.
So my information, all that stuff on the internet is just being kind of combined together, and they're trying to hone in on me to make sure they can get me in touch with one of these advisors that purchased me as a lead to come in contact with me.
So that was the puzzling part to me, because there's 5 different financial advisors coming from the financial entertainer's marketing organization. You know, the financial entertainer is making a bunch of money on that. How do you think they're getting paid, though? Do you think the advisors are paying them for the leads to get your access to your information?
Oh, yeah. They've bought in, whether it's a subscription or pay per lead. The money's floating to the top to that financial entertainer, and those advisors are getting the leads. And it's up to them. Like I said, it's almost the wild, wild west to try to figure out how to get me in their office.
Well, you know me, I'm probably not the most secure individual in the world, so I'm picturing myself as one of these 5 advisors, and I don't know, they have meetings regularly to see, so let's say all these leads are going out. It's probably a lot of leads coming out, and 2 or 3 months goes by and we're all vying for the same people, and I'm sitting there thinking, hey, nobody's worked with me, so I bump into one of the other advisors. Hey, Joe, you got any business? Oh, yeah, I've gotten 20 new clients. I'm like, how come nobody wants to work with me? I mean,
yeah.
But what do you do about that? That seems like that almost sets up a competitive, kind of weird situation.
Especially these advisors being with different organizations. I can't imagine the pressure, and then they've paid for these leads. As a young advisor, I can't imagine dishing out the money for these leads. And all told, after that entire experience, thanks again to you and Heather.
Okay, and you're so welcome, by the way.
It ended up that my information was with that corporate entity. So
probably with them forever. I mean, they've got it.
And then it was with that marketing organization that was selling the leads to the advisors, and then 5 different advisors. So 7 total firms now have my information. Gee, thanks again. And I've tried to get out of any emails or stopped answering any phone calls. So it's been fun.
Wow. So folks, if you're listening to this, maybe you've had a similar experience. I mean, there's a lot of situations out there, and we're not trying to dog the financial world. We're trying to share the reality of the financial world. The financial world, again, and we're not making any bones about this, all of us who work in the financial world have to have your money to work with you in order for us to survive and prosper. That's the way this financial world works. The question is, who can you trust? Not only with your money, but I think what we found out today, Trey, is with your information.
That's a big one.
And I think the way people respond to the information and how trusting those folks are, I mean, again, I'm not going to get on this situation too much, but I can't imagine me taking, let's say if I had this kind of reputation where I could just bring agents in and start sharing information and making money on it. I don't know how anybody tracks anything. As a fiduciary, I don't think I could do that, I guess. I don't know. That would be hard.
Yeah.
I'd have to figure that one out because we have such a responsibility to our clients. So that's you, folks. If you feel like, gosh, I just want to try to talk to somebody that's real, in person, that's been doing it a long time, that's going to keep my information confidential. If I work with them, fine. If I don't, they're not going to bug me to death or trail after me with emails. If that's you, why don't you give us an opportunity at TonyWalkerFinancial.com. We'll meet with you for free, talk with you on the phone. We'll promise we won't hound you to death. Just give us a call at 877-499-9255, 877-499-9255, or log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Click on that Let's Get Started button, and we assure you we'll hold your information in the strictest of confidence. We'll look forward to talking to you soon. Next week on the Worry-Free Retirement, if you thought investments were complicated, just wait till next week, because the title of our show actually is called Investments Made Easy. That's all the time we have for today, but between now and next week, you remember, if all else fails, you be worry-free.
Funny, funny, funny what money can do.